Hey guys, welcome back. I've just drained the oil out of this cleaver and getting harassed by dogs. Yeah, righto, look out boys, girls. Hey, fucking idiots. Yeah, the oil looks really good. So yeah, I'll examine it better once I pick it up, but I reckon I'll replace the oil filter, put fresh oil in it again. But for now I've got to get, well, this escort's going to have to be off the hoist. Turn the Falcon around, put the Falcon in a position where I can sort of in line with this up here so I can winch this engine off this stand. Then lower it into this car, but I'm going to need my son's help to get this damn bonnet off and on. I used to do it by myself, but notice my back doesn't seem to be as good as it was 12 months ago. So yeah, not much else going on really. I'm just got one of me a gold Jeep upside of my house. I got that up for sale and it's get plenty of interest. Yeah, move that car on. All my other cars are going great. And yeah, the Escort's engine's still at the machine shop. They called me up the other day and asked me if, yeah, just said that yeah, their boss man's off at the moment sick, so I just told them don't rush it, do it at your own pace. I don't want them doing a rush job on it. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Reinstalling the second valve spring. I've never done this. This is the first engine I've ever had to do this before, like taking the second spring out for the purpose of running the cam. But I knew I had to compress the cylinder, either that or I'll drop a valve. I'll try to remove the spring, so I made this contraption. So there's your typical eBay compression tester part of the kit, and then I screwed that air compressor connection in, whatever it's called. Put that in, and then I just hook up the air compressor. Just screw that into where spark plug goes in, and yeah, compress the cylinder. That way I can remove the valve springs. But I had to make this. You go to Super Cheap Auto, you see this Toledo valve spring compressor, and the original thing that was here, I don't know where it is now. It was absolute dog shit. I might have just been part of that. It just, yeah, it was a thing that goes in here and hits the top of the valve, but I couldn't handle the stress of the spring. It started spreading. So I got one of my really old kits that I've got. It's got these other type of compressors, so I just lob the edges off. Put that in there like that, and yeah, it seems to work good. Takes me about probably 15 minutes to do 2 cylinders. If that, I don't know. I'm getting quicker at it, but I won't adjust them until I've done the whole lot, and I'll go back through and make sure they're sitting in the right spot. Yeah, really keen to get this motor back in. I knew this part was coming up, and I'm better off doing it here rather than having it in the engine bay. So how it's done. All compressed. The air compressor works pretty hard. You have to have the cylinder in the right spot, or the valve keeps dropping. But yeah, finished doing all the rockers. Got them all in. Double springs are back in place. I thought I'd take the manifold off, just have a look inside and make sure it's all sweet. Thought there might have been something wrong with lifters. They seemed a bit stiff, but I think that's what they're like when they're full of oil. I did soak them before I installed them originally, but so what I've been doing now, I'm just about ready to pull this motor off. I'm just going to I've got the 4150 size gasket here. So I'm going to use that. I had to go to the steel place and get some of this 100mm flat bar. Should be perfect for making. I'm going to make a special, yeah, go on a jig to go on here so I can pick the engine up. Yeah, that'll be good. Then I'll be able to lift this engine up off the crane and off the block and tackle and lower it into the car. Then I'll be able to get the car up on the hoist. And yeah, got this top loader. I've shown you this before. So yeah, got this from Mates Rates, $1,500. The Hurst Indy shifter. So yeah, apparently it's a good thing. It's been reconditioned at one point, he reckons. He had a Falcon XB coupe. Some of you guys might know, and I might put a photo up of what it comes out of, but he's a pretty popular car amongst the groups, or people remember seeing it anyway. He didn't put it on there all the time, but he's since sold the car, but this transmission comes out of it. He's beyond 351. Then he put a C4 back in it, so yep. Another thing I made a big error on. I got this Mercury Optimax 2008 model, 150 horsepower. So it's a V6, 2.5 litre. It's fuel injected, oil injected. It's got all the fruit. It's a really good engine. Well, they're good motors. This one was a good motor. I paid $2,800 for it, which is pretty cheap. Got it home, done a compression test. Compression should be up around 120, 130 psi. It was down to around, I think it was between 105 and 115. Most of it was like 112, around that mark. So the compression was down a bit, but anyways, it was still alright motor to run. When I originally got it, I had a bit of trouble trying to work out where the wiring goes, but I ended up getting it going. There's no problems. Once it was going, I was sat there idling. Really good, smooth. But then last week I decided to drag the motor out and just fire it up. And it was stinking hot. I had sun hitting on me back, and I got the fuel pressure up, and the thing wouldn't start. So I got a bit of Start You Bastard and a bit of ordinary 98 octane fuel. And I didn't put oil in the fuel. I assumed because it's oil injected, once it starts cranking, it'll lube everything up, because it was blowing it was like blowing smoke, like it was oily smoke, like it was getting oil. But yeah, it must mix with the fuel some way or another, I don't know. But I got the fuel pressure up, it was all good. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, we managed to get it going. My neighbour across the road was spraying Start You Bastard in it while it was running, and all of a sudden it started making horrible noises. And then it would start by itself like it normally would, but it was clunking. Shows here a little video. So yeah, it's pretty good chance. It's got these tiny little roller bearings. They're right on the big ends, the crankshaft. So I reckon what's happened, I've washed the oil off, they've started to bind up, and then yeah, shit's turned south. But I never would have thought that a motor would fail that quick, but I'm no expert at two-stroke, so once this coupe's finished, the Escort's back on the road and things pan out, I'll pull that motor apart. It's probably a good thing anyway, like, good thing I'm pulling it apart, because then I can get it reconditioned. It might only need new rings and just a light hone, and get the compression up again, because two-strokes really love compression. Like, if the compression's down, they start having all sorts of problems. But yeah, the motor was on its way out. It's had close to 1,200 hours, but still got this boat. That motor's really old. So this motor was just going to replace this old motor, but this motor is great. It runs good. It's like an 86 model, and still, I took it out the other week and I'm thinking, why don't I even get this motor? That motor's fine. But yeah, it's pretty loud. This motor up here is heaps quieter. I was going to get a bit of flat bar and weld it to it and drill a hole. And I know these are dirt cheap. I'll just weld up on them on with a porosity. That's what happens when there's wind and MIG welding. So yeah, should do the job. I usually make these jigs for the outboard motors. But yeah, saves me going out and buying one. Slap this together. So before I go any further, I'm going to have to remove these extractors. Yeah, just get in a position where I can easily pull it off the frame. Voila! First time in 5 years. Engine is back in the car. Nice. Although it's not running the original heads. I bought these heads, and I got the block off me mate. It's got the coupe, well, had the coupe that I bought the top loader off. So yeah, he gave me the block on dirt cheap during COVID. It's moving house, so yeah, engine is back in. It's sitting a little bit higher than I'd like. It's sitting a bit too high, but I think, I can't remember. These are king springs. It's meant to sit a little bit lower than that, but I think by the time I put the front bumper on, the bumper's pretty heavy. The radiator, top loader, battery. Once I start putting all the accessories in, it'll sit a little bit lower, but I don't really want it sitting too high. I mean, sitting too low anyway. I want to drive this thing. I want to enjoy it. This car is not going to be a shed queen. It's going to be out there. I'm going to get out there and drive around everywhere. Show it off. Aussie classic. So, what I need to do now, the floor's a bit dirty. You got oil. When I was compressing the cylinders to the valve springs, oil was getting pushed out through the oil galleries, and all the pressure in the sumpers, yeah, blowing oil out. So yeah, made a horrible mess. So, oh, she's looking decent, but a bit lower. So it's pretty cool today. It's a pretty cool day, so it's been really good. It's been hectic hot. I get the westerly sun hitting that garage door, and it just knocks the guts out of me. I notice now when I pick heavy stuff up, like picking up that top loader and just doing a bit of heavy work, I feel my back's all tight, so my discs, my back doesn't seem to like the stress anymore. Getting old, aren't we all? So, righto, I'll clean up. We'll get this car up in the hoist, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Got it in position. Wow, it is so much harder to move now. It's got engine in it. This banner fell down too. How cool is that? Yep, so I got the hoist arms in the right position, so yeah, time to go up. She's in the air. Someone put a comment, one of my recent videos, about it looking odd. It's got these big tyres, and yeah, it's only got a little ball-guarded diff. I'm like, yeah, I know. A 9-inch diff would be nice. But, yeah, I priced them the other week. I'm like, I've already got a 351, and I've got a top loader. It's like, yeah, 351 will be good. I've got a tail shaft over there to suit. It'll be the right length between the back of the top loader and the 9-inch. But I have a budget, so I was pricing them. It's up around $3,500. It'd be like $4,000 episode just to get a 9-inch diff for this car, and that sort of money. Yeah, I can't afford to spend that money, but the Borgwarner should do the job just fine, I reckon. Plus the heap's lighter too. So at the moment it's got its 164 tooth automatic flex plate. I've got a Yellow Terra flywheel over there wrapped in plastic. Took a while for that. They must be made to order. So yeah, that's got to go in. I've got one that come with this top loader, but I know it would work. It looks okay, a bit scuffy and dirty, but the pressure plate looks okay, but the clutch is absolutely knackered. But I've got on new stuff. I got onto the GT shop, and I bought a new pressure plate, clutch, and then they got me the flywheel for a Yellow Terra. So that's got to go in now or soon. I don't know about today. I'm just going to drink beer and chill out for now, but I'm hoping. See, I've got this tail shaft here. It's pretty bad surface rust on here. And yeah, it's custom made. If I find a sticker on it, see, I'll turn it around a bit. See a sticker down there, so it's custom made. We've got a place around here. Gibson's Driveshafts, tail shafts, but it's like they do everything straight wide. But so they made the tail shaft for the Escort to adapt the C4 to the Borgwarner diff, because obviously the Escort's length's messed up compared to these things. So yeah, I don't want to have to get a custom tail shaft if I have to. Like I've I've got the original out of this car, went from the C4 to the Borgliner diff, and then I bought another 351. The 351 drive tail shafts. They start off being the same as the 302 one I've got, and then the body of it gets bigger. One of the good things about these C4s, and now I've just learnt the top loader and the single rails, that you can get the yoke or the input shaft. Input shaft goes in the back of the transmission. They're all the same. So I'm hoping, I've got a tail shaft out of an EL Falcon wagon. I'm hoping that bolts in the same, it's the right length. From memory, it only has to sit in the back of the gearbox an inch, but I want to go more than that. But yeah, hopefully I can just do a complete swap and just put the tail shaft out, because it's not so much of a worry, this car not going, but moving around now, it's pretty much, this car's tying the hoist up now. So if there's any, like for example, the Falcon BF Mark III wagon needs an oil change, and it just makes sense to do it in the driveway now. Like, it's too much an effort to get the wagon up here. So yeah, what I'll do now, drink more beer and then look into doing this gearbox. Back into it again. My brother come over yesterday, Arvo, and yeah, we just dragged out this exhaust. It was all shrink wrapped. So I bought this kit off eBay. So it's complete exhaust, dual exhaust to suit this Falcon. So I think it's in stainless steel. Don't know what grade, 304 I think. I'm not sure, but rapid exhaust. So yeah, I've got the mufflers. They're all out here. Extractors need a bit of love. But yeah, I'll pack this up. Just trying to plan ahead, because it's a bad time of the year, December. Trying to progress to the car, then you run out of parts. So last night I bought the exhaust hangers. These are the ones that go in the middle, above or around the diff. So they go up here, so they'll go down, hang off the exhaust somehow. I've got to look into it more. So these ones here, from what I can gather, it's been a long time, they come off up here, bolt through there, and they come out and go into one of the U-bolts that clamp the exhaust. So these two are freaking expensive. They're like, I got them down all up $225. Yeah, hell of a lot dearer than these ones. I've tried my best to get them cheaper, but yeah, I don't think I'm in with the other one. You can get rebuild kits for them, and the new rubbers and that, but I thought just replace them and done with it. So I've got them coming. I bought the GT exhaust tips. They'll go well with the GT rear valance. I think that's what you call it. That's already got the cutout, the GT style cutout. Yeah, so got them coming. And if anyone watched my last video, I've been racking my brain trying to work out how to set up this fuel system. The problem being, Zach was saying problem have the Escort. When you mount the pumps on the Escort, they're mounted here. The fuel pump's mounted here, and then the drop tank's over here, but the drop tank's got to actually be higher than the pump, so the pump can actually, but just, yeah, it doesn't have to suck the fuel as much, as they don't like to suck. They like to push, they don't like to suck. So yeah, problem being is wherever I mount the fuel pump, it's just not going to be happy. I had this problem in the Escort, and I had to use a lift pump and do a surge tank. But I'm thinking, when I bought this Aces EFI kit for this car, I remember looking over what was included, and there was an option where I can run the in-tank, like I'll show you. I'll get it now. I'll show you. So So this is the flywheel, clutch and pressure plate that I got with the top loader. I reckon I could reuse the fly. There's a little bit of wear on the fingers, but it's nothing, you can't even feel anything there. Yeah, obviously the clutch plates are knackered. But yeah, I stepped ahead. This is well before this. When I had the single rail, I was going to put the single rail. I'll show you. It's got it sitting over here somewhere. It's got shit piled up all over it. I originally was going to run this Borgwarner single rail, but I struggled to get parts for it. And my mate had this top loader available at a good price, so I stepped up and I bought this kit. You got it from, it might have been Grand Tour or GT Shop, don't remember now. Had it for a while, but brand new Yellow Terror flywheel, so yeah, good thing. Then I've got Center Force pressure plate and clutch. So yeah, strictly read these instructions, so I'll have to read that. I've got the new thrust bearing. Even though I've already got this, I'll use the new one. Yeah, alignment tool. So yeah, all good. So but I'll read that. Yeah, I found the bolts that hold the flywheel, the pressure plate to the flywheel. I haven't got them, but it turns out they're the same thread as the exhaust to the cylinder head. So I'll just go to the nuts and bolts place today and get them. But before I don't go any further, I'll read these instructions and make sure that they might have stuff in there. Like I'm missing the bolts, for example, but I'll have a good read of that. I noticed on the flywheel there's all these other holes. There might be a reason for that. I'll look into it a little bit further, but ideally I want to get, got the bell housing. Place the bloody dump at the moment. Got the bell housing sitting there. That's the one for the C4. I'll put the bell housing up, and then I've got a brand new starter motor to test out, make sure it all lines and it's in the right spot, and then I can keep putting it in. Run into a drama. It all bolts up, looks great, but reading their instructions here about the pressure plate, the 6 bolts that fix this to the flywheel, they need to have a shoulder on them. Other cars I've worked with, Escorts and other Japanese cars, they have locating pins on the flywheel to get this in the perfect spot, but these totally rely on having the correct bolts. So I've used these 5/16, and they haven't got a shoulder on them. They haven't got a shoulder. Someone done a measurement, there's probably, I don't know, roughly a mil of slap just around where the shoulder should be. So what's going to happen there, there's a possibility when I get this running, well, idling it'll be fine, but yeah, high RPM, this is going to get out of balance. Plus it's a safety issue too. I know these are high tensile. These bolts are high tensile, it's unlikely to come off. But yeah, I need to get the proper bolts to fix his pressure plate to the flywheel. It sucks because I bought the top loader off. He gave me a lot of bits and pieces and that, but can't seem to find the bolts. So yeah, sucks. But oh, this is what it is. This is what happens. Lack of disco. I've got so much going on at the moment in my life. Yeah, so bugger. I'll go ahead. I'll put this in the car. I'll install it all. But yeah, I'll have to reverse the whole lot. But it's not a big deal. I've got the bloody transceivers and jacks sitting there. I've got a hoist. Couldn't get much easier for me, really. So I will go to the nuts and bolts place anyway. I probably shouldn't even bother. I don't know. I'll fix this. I'll fix this up, and we'll see how it looks and just go from there. But I should be able to get it started and running with this, but I won't go driving, obviously. I can't anyway, but just having a look at this, right? Measure it again properly. So here's the center force pressure plate. Here's the other one I got with the top loader. So you measure in here. Yeah, difficult to do this holding the phone. It's in 937. And I'll go to one of these bolts here. Very close. I can't even see. Oh, you put it in there. It's pretty tight. I might go. I've got this place I'll go to in my local area called KC Harris. They have their own machine shop. And they, this time of year, they're not going to machine me a bolt. But what I'll do, I'll go see them and see if they've got one of these bolts. It's got a shoulder in it. And then that could be good. They've got a massive variety because we're in my area. There's a lot of mining, machine shops and stuff because this area is the main thing that keeps this Hunter Valley going is mining. It's massive. It's just huge in this area. So in saying that, they've got a lot of machine shops and stuff got to do on mining. So yeah, I'll try my luck out and see if they've got these bolts. I guess in now. Try to go to my usual KC Harris, but they're closed for stock take, so I went to this other place, Valley Fasteners. They're like the same thing. KC generally, I've just been going there for years. So yeah, measured the gap, measured it in here. That's it there. And then I measure this. So it's a very tight fit as it is. May not be an issue anyway, but for now, I'll just do a dummy fit. Put it all together, see how it all bolts up. I might even be able to get the clutch, pedal in, bleed the slave cylinder and master and get it all working. Keep progressing. Got this new spigot bearing. Had to clean this up really well. It's on there nicely. So yeah, I've got the frost bearing. Also put a very light skim of grease on there. Very light. Got a nipple on there too to grease this bearing up. I don't know how the hell you get to it, but I know the C4. For the C4, it's got a window here so you can get in there. That's for the manual transmission. I don't know how the hell you get in there. Maybe. Oh, you just grease it up before you assemble it. Righto. Got it to a line. Bit of a high risk situation up on the hoist. Putting this flywheel up, you can so easily drop it, smash the ground, wreck the teeth, start all over again. So yeah, I'll just temporarily bolt that spacer plate in, whatever the hell it's called. But obviously I've used a bit of brake cleaner on this. Don't want to contaminate the clutch. So I'll clean all this up now and I'll get upper Loctite on them. According to the workshop manual, 85 foot-pounds. I've had to lower the car to so I can get this bell housing in. So the clutch plate, pressure plate, all that's in. I had to go out and get longer bolts. Turns out this bell housing's slightly different in regards to bolt lengths. Needed to put it to the engine. So yeah, that looks really good. I thought the old starter motor I had, which is a beast. Oh, it's over here. It's one of these old, I think it's a Bosch. It's a monster. It's massive. It's actually alright. It turns out the battery was struggling to turn the old Clevo over when I had it on the stand. But yeah, I've got a new one anyway. They state that there's two different types. There's auto and there's manual. And someone said that, yeah, it's because they just use different bolt holes in the bell housing. But I'm just looking at this one and there's only the two holes. So I don't know, wait and see. But I'll engage it to see how it sounds on the flywheel. And yeah, see if it all works out for me. No problems, bolted straight up. The C4, it's a bit long this bolt, but the C4 bolts up top and bottom. But this bell housing's a bit different, need a nut on the back. But yeah, bolted up. I've just got a battery here on the floor. And yeah, it appears to be really good. There's no load on the motor, spark plugs are out, but you can hear it. I'll go around here so you can see it. Yeah, so it's all good. Bit of oil. See, that's what happens, bugger. Oh well, we know it works, engages. So yeah, move on. my experience putting transmissions in is usually a prick of a job, but now I've got the gear, it's a lot easier. So I've had the only problem being that transmission jack goes 180 centimeters high. I could have had the car a little bit higher. But yeah, I'll just work it. Just still a lot easier. Yeah, so it's all bolted up. It's really easy how you can just sort of lower the transmission just enough just to get to all the transmission bolts easily. This is so much easier to work on than the Escort and the Jeep. So much more room. So what I'm gonna do now, I've got the cross member sitting over there. I just got to get the mount, the soft mount off the C4. Apparently they're the same, so I'll just get off C4, put it on this. I haven't got the capture thread nuts or whatever they go in here. I haven't got them, so I'm just going to have to put big washers and bolts in there just for now. But the goal is to dummy fit this tail shaft. 4 tail shafts. I've got transmissions looking good, sitting right, yep, so the silver one, that's out of a Ford Falcon EL or EF wagon. That's where this ball diff comes out of. And then the next one below it with a ribbon around it. Factory look, that is definitely. Yep, so that's the factory one that came out of this car. And then the one below it, that's the one that come with the top loader. Massively long input shaft. And then the one below that, I think that comes out of a Fairlane. It's got the red ribbon around it. Yeah, so as it looks, the Fairlane one looks too long. You see a tape measure, that's the length from flange to flange. Or the back of the top loader to the flange of the Borgwarner diff. So you can see, yeah, the only one that looks remotely close is this one here that comes out of the original top loader. Would have gone to a 9-inch diff. So interesting. I was hoping to be able to swap the flanges over, but see the width for that one compared to this, so it's narrower. Although this does sit in a lot further. I don't know, I could look into it, but I'll probably be inclined to do what I've done with the Escort, and that's just go to Gibson's tail shafts in Newcastle. And yeah, they've made this one. It just all adds up, you know. I'm trying to. I want to end the chapter of this car. I want to get on with it now. It's been dragging on for 5 years now, so I see what I can do. I might just give that end there a clean up. I don't really want to swap flanges over on this Borgwarner diff. I don't really want to swap this because once you undo that, take this off, put another one on, it could mess things up. So see what I can do. I tried and I failed. I put the EL wagon flange on this custom tail shaft I got with the top loader, but it's too long. I even tried putting it onto the original tail shaft to come out of this, and it was still too long. I couldn't believe it. Unbelievable. So yeah, it just leaves me in the spot now where I have to get one custom made. But even this one here, the original EL wagon tail shaft, it's actually aluminium. It goes straight into the back of the top loader, no problems. But yeah, it's obviously way too long. Ends it around here somewhere. So I had a red old go. I just wanted it so I can, you know, drive it in my driveway and just test out the gears and the top loader and stuff. But it just means I'm gonna have to get one made, and that's time and money this time of year. So yeah, have to do a couple of overtime shifts, I think, to cover the costs of getting the tail shaft made. But another thing I noticed, this car is a real shit to push around. Like, I thought it was just the weight of it, but then I pushed the Escort around and it's absolute piece of piss. I could push this car, the Escort, right out in the road, no problems at all. But this car is a proper shit. So I was talking to people about, the ideal size tyres to put on these 15-inch 12 slutters. And a bloke who's highly regarded in the forums, who knows a lot about these, recommended a 235 60/15. He said that'd be right on the front, but check this out. Scuffing. Oh, I've got a torch. It's from the shed. It gets so dark. See up in there. Scuffing up there. So yeah, you think, oh yeah, just the camber. We tried that. No, still rubs. Not by much, but yeah. So I'm gonna have to run spacers. The only way I'm gonna run a 235 on the front. So that sucks, but oh, it is what it is. Don't like running spacers because they put extra load on the bearings, but might only need a 5mm spacer, might need much. So yeah, so I think what I'll do now is I've got the master cylinder. This goes in the top PBR, that goes behind the pedal box, so that's the master cylinder, and this is the slave. But I think it's missing the, it doesn't matter, I've already got Rusty Ford Wreckers in Victoria. He's really good. He's been so helpful throughout this car's build, and I called it up months ago when I was doing the single rail, and he supplied me the pedal box, slave, master, and the lines go between them, and I think they're brand new cylinders too. I'll have a look at them now. So here it is here. The other one I've got is just a solid hard line, so if I want in the future, because these flex lines, sometimes they close up on the inside, where this one's unique. I don't know, I haven't seen this style before, but this comes out of an XA, I believe, or no, who knows. The pedal box says comes out of an XA. I don't know, doesn't matter, whatever. But yeah, new master, new slave. The slave's cast iron, both the same brand. But yeah, part I'm not looking forward to is swapping this pedal box over. I had problems trying to get the steering column to sit in the right spot, but it's all good. I just got to get the car off the hoist, get it down from the hoist, and then I'll have to open the door up, so I can't open the doors up too well with the hoist in the road. So I'll see what the weather's doing tomorrow. We're no time today. Hopefully the weather's good. I don't like leaving this car in the sun. It's bad enough going to car shows and leaving out the sun, but yeah, it doesn't see much sunlight. If I can help it, or summer anyway. So yeah, so what I can do now. Back in the shed again, just had a massive clean up. Had to create some room, because once I put this car on the ground, there's this, run out of floor space real quick. So so where I'm at now, doing this pedal box. So they put the throttle body back on. So yeah, I'm just looking at this whole pedal box, and I'm like, I really do not want, I don't want to swap this whole thing over with the one I've already got in here. I was hoping I could just pull this shaft out here, pull that shaft out, and then swap them over. Save me undoing it off the steering column and all that fiddly stuff. It's got these little circlips on the end, so what I might do, I might just pull this apart, give this a lick of paint, a bit rusty, and then I'll pull the one out of the pedal box there, and hopefully it should be straightforward. There's compared to other cars I've got, the Escort and the Jeep and that, this thing is so much easier to get into the firewall. There's a bit of concern, and but hang on, these are pretty bigger. These engine bays are huge, so yeah, shouldn't be a problem. So this is the XA pedal box. I've just swapped over, got the brake pedal out of mine and used that, and it all swaps over the same, which I'd expect it to, but I had to try it out first to make sure. So yeah, now it's just a matter of swapping these over and putting it in the car. I'm missing on these pedals, I've got the call it, circlip. I forget what the name is. Goes through here, locks that in. I'm missing one off the clutch pedal. So so yeah, I'm gonna have to work something out there. Have to probably go to Repco or something. They'll have them there. So finished getting a pedal box in. Just got to put this accelerator pedal in now. Don't know how it goes. It's 5 years ago I pulled this car apart. So yeah, no problems at all. A little bit tight getting that last circlip in up there. That one right there. Bit of a prick because it's got a tension on it. It's got like a washer behind it. It keeps the spring tight, but I put a bit of grease on the shaft. Get it all nice and soft, so yeah, it moves very freely. So yeah, move on now. Put the master cylinder in. See it right up there. And then I've got the line coming from it, and one end of it's got like a flex line. Oh, I can show you, it's really difficult. It's got like that flex line like I was showing you before. I couldn't work out how the hell it goes on, but because the top loader, all those little linkages, they'll get in the road. So I looked at them like, hang on, and then extractors, I went to put them on. I'm like, this ain't going to work, but no, it goes inside the extractors and goes around them. There's a massive recess, like a hole for it. So yeah, that's all good. I'm going to wrap these. Oh, probably ceramic coating, I don't know. Might just wrap them, that's what I usually do. I know ceramic coating's the better option, but yeah, so I've made sure I've fixed it in the middle there, right on where the flex is, because I know this motor having it's pretty cammy. The motor will vibrate, and that if that's a solid steel line, like that other one I've got over here. This one here's all steel. I gather over time that will break. The vibration of the motor. Might take a long time, but yeah, it's my opinion. So now I've got that. They've dummy fit those extractors and they fit perfect. I might try to put these driver's side ones up. Don't really have to. I can do that later. But doing the hard yards. It's like 35 degrees outside. It's probably about that in the shed, but there's not much air. So yeah, I've got all bled best I can by myself. I've got this vacuum assisted brake bleeding tool, and I noticed here you use a bit of thread tape, tiny bit of thread tape on the nipple to make it seal better, because you're sucking in air, and that seemed to help. I got to the point and the bubbles stopped, but the reservoir is that small up in the master cylinder, it's just a mission. So yeah, this problem I had with this nipple, it kept leaking. I don't know why, it's weird, it kept leaking. No matter how tight I done it, it just leaked under pressure. So then I got the nipper out of the other slave cylinder and it's fine. Very unusual. So yeah, I'm having to pump the pedal. So it's got air in it still, but I have to get an assistant. It's really hot too. I'll get up in the ladder. I'll crawl up on this ladder, get through the windscreen, and the heat coming off the roof, it's insane. And I had the ladder over this side so I can get to the reservoir and top it up. But I reckon I'll get an assistant. Even three blokes would be better. One can top the reservoir up, another one can pump the pedal, another one can open up down here, nipple. So yeah, what I'll do now, I've got this shift kit put in. So yeah, put that Hurst Indy shifter in, and I know it's not going to line up too well here. It's going to need a spacer. We'll get onto that. I haven't done this before, but I'm going to figure it out real quick. Time to wrap up this video. I was making good progress. I expected this Hurst shift. I don't know why I was thinking it'd just go straight in, but it doesn't. This is all new to me. I'm no expert in this area, in this car, but I'm sure someone in the comment section will tell me. So I went to put this in this outer side rod. I think it's 3rd and 4th. It conflicts with the tunnel here. So yeah, I'll just have to modify it a little bit. The cover, that cover that goes over top will cover everything anyway. It doesn't matter. But I tried putting the rod on the other side, thinking, oh, yeah, it must have to go like that, but no. yeah, I have to figure it out. But turns out the bushes are missing clips. The bushes are looking pretty sad. So I just got on the this Eagle Auto Parts. So you see this here, it's got a bush that's completely missing. I don't think it's up there either. Can't see. Is that one there? Yeah, it hasn't got a bush in up there. It's missing. So yeah, I'm screwed. So there's no way in hell I'm going to even bother trying to do it when it's got all these stuff missing. But I'll just get it down off the hoist, show you what it looks like. Oh, thank God for this hoist. These extractors, I'm reading on the forums and stuff, and people said, oh, you have to jack your side, the right hand side of the engine up, or you have to do this and that. With a hoist, you can sit there, and I managed to get both extractors in without having to do anything. Bit of jigging around to get it to go right, but yeah, no problems. Just got it in, done the bolts up, they're in. So show you this shifter. I've been reading the manual on it, watching videos. I love watching videos. It's so much better than reading manuals. It's quicker to learn, but I'll just show you this. So you see the shifter there. See how off center it is? It's majorly off center. I've got this thing here. That'll probably bring it back into the right position. I don't know, but you get these spaces from there, I reckon. But so I just bought. See how about to modify the floor of that a little bit just to get it to clear. Maybe got to be extreme with that, but it doesn't matter. It's all covered. But yeah, that's got to be. I'll get in a position to show you, so I can't shit everywhere. But yeah, it's way off center. Might be able to see it from there. Oh, not really. Window's dirty. Yeah, so you see how off center it is. Shocking. It's all good. Part of the process. So I got the factory console to put back in this. I bought a remanufactured one ages ago. So yeah, I bought this bush kit for it. $62 including freight. So I think they look like brass bushes, I'm not sure, but they've got these special clips. They're unique to that Hurst kit. So I've got them coming too. So it's all growing to a halt now, unfortunately. It's running out of time. I've got a Christmas Day. We're having a family coming over here. So I've got to start cleaning up and do a shop on this stuff. But you see that. Yeah, way off center. That's all good. I'll sort that out. Part of the challenge, but got heaps done. I've got a clutch now, but it needs to be bled properly, obviously. But I dummy fitted the extractors. Put this in here to stop leaks getting on paint and brake fluid. But yeah, it's looking good. It's blown away by how much room there is left to do shit. I can reach in and working on Jeeps, like over Christmas last year. The Jeep's transmission blew up just for Christmas. I think I ran the fluid a bit low. Can't just blame the car, but yeah, I just done a transmission swap up on stands, didn't have the hoist. And it was a shit job, and I pulled it off. But tell you what, this car is it's a walk in the park. It's really got me to appreciate these older cars. I know the Escort's a shit show, but that's got a twin cam engine in it and turbo and all crap. So yeah, pleasure to work on this car. I'm enjoying it. Not so much in the heat, but that's just Australian climate. So righto guys, I'll wrap this video up and I will crack on with it the next week, I reckon. But I need those Hurst shifter parts to turn up because it's just ground to a halt. But yeah, yeah. Righto guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you again soon. Let you go. I thought I'd better show you this. So these bushes here, yep, they appear to be brass. The ones I've got now look like they're plastic for the Hurst shifter. So new bushes and those special unique looking circlips, split pins, what you like to call them. Yeah, very odd. So yeah, very good. Got that kit coming. Can't wait. Need that to arrive ASAP. I might have to get these two to backup switch. Not sure. I'll worry about that later. I want to get this car mobile in the driveway. So yeah, wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great Christmas, and I'll see you in the new year.